been in bodybuilding since, let me see, I think I remember the exact day. I think it was June 92. Not the exact, but month, June 92. I was living in Thailand, and I was basically just hanging out over there with a few friends from Germany. You know, one of my best friends from Germany, he owned a hotel in Thailand. That's how I got over there. He invited me, and I was basically hanging out at night with some of my friends that I met over there, and they all went to the gym during the day. And I just got fed up with some of these guys walking around, you know, trying to, you know, walk around all buff. And I had a bet going on with one of the guys saying that I would look bigger and better than him in less than 3 months. So that was a $100 bet. So that's how it all started. So in June 92, I started training, and I think it was like end of July or beginning August where he paid me my $100. That was basically, that's how it all started. And then I remember walking down by the beach in Thailand, and there was this guy that approached me asking me what show I'm getting ready for. And I was like, nah, I'm just training, you know, I'm just doing a little bit, you know, during the day so I can go out at night, you know, do my thing, you know, don't have to feel guilty all day and the next day. And he said, since he's good friends with the president of that particular association back then, he invited me the next time I was in Germany to come see him. Something I did like 2 months later while I was visiting my parents in Germany. So I called this guy up, I went to his house, he introduced me to the president of the association, and he looked at me and said, no, matter of fact, I remember he put a tape in of the Mr. Universe in 1992. And while he put the tape in, he's looking at me and asked me, could you hang with that? And I thought he was joking. I said, sure. So he said, I invite you for the 1993 Mr. Universe. And I was like, yeah, what time do you want me to be there? You know, because I still think he was joking. So he said, well, we have a show that's called the National Qualifier for the German national team a week prior to the Mr. Universe. He would like for me to go there to compete, just, you know, just to see if I can hang with the standard. And that's basically all he said, and he left. So I was like, okay. So after he was gone, I asked my friend, I said, was he serious? He said, yeah. So I said, I better get back to the gym then. So that was June 92. So I went back to Thailand. No, it was June. I started training. That was like sometime in August, September. No, even November, after the 92 Universe. So I had about 1 year to get ready for the Universe in 93, and that's something that I took advantage of. And went back to Thailand, trained for a year. And in October 93, I placed fourth at my first ever show, which was the Mr. Universe in England. And from then on, everything is basically history. How I keep myself motivated, I mean, it wasn't really that easy living in Thailand and getting the motivation that most of the athletes have over here when they, you know, train in gyms like O's Venice, or where they see all the guys where they can steal moves and stuff like that. I never had that because, like I said, I was in Thailand and I was basically the only one that was really serious. But what I always did was I always got a hold of the DVDs. Everybody has his own DVD or video back then. So what I did was I put in the DVDs and the VCRs constantly all day. Every workout, I picked the guy that I admired the most for that body part that I trained. I threw in his DVD. Let's say just for instance, back. I put Ronnie Coleman's DVD in there, you know, before the back workout, and I'll just go through the whole tape. You know, and I take that motivation right to the gym when I train back. And the same thing I did with Kevin's shoulders and basically everybody. I have everybody's DVD, and some guys have more than one, and I have them all. That's what I use to this day to motivate myself. It's easier now living in the U.S. because, like I said, I can come down here to Venice and train at Goals with Charles Glass, something I did back in '98 and in 2003 when I came in my all-time best, because it's just such a motivational kick to be training with Charles Glass, because he looks at you and he analyzes your body and he immediately knows what exercises to do, and he creates angles that you would never even think of doing the same machine, and all of this next thing you know is you're training a total different part doing the same machine that you always use. So that just only that motivates me to the fullest, and I come here like to fully concentrate only on my training and my diet. I stay in the room, I don't do nothing, I don't party. I go to the gym 6 o'clock in the morning to do my cardio, and when I do my cardio, I picture myself, what I look like on stage, and I always look back on pictures from before, and I look at pre-contest pictures, something that I always put out on the internet. I was basically the first one doing all these pre-contest pictures on the internet leading up to the show, because I figured, me living in Thailand, it's very hard to create a hype in the United States. So that's basically what I did. I just posted pictures every week to see, let everybody see my progress that I was doing. And I still look back on pictures, let's say now I'm 4 weeks out from the Arnold. I'm looking at pictures 4 weeks out from other shows to compare where I'm at, And I'm gonna say right now, I'm pretty happy, I'm totally calm. Everything works fine. I have no injuries, and I'm ready to bring it at the Arnold this year, But like I said, the motivation comes from all the other competitors, looking at myself, you gotta know what you want, and it's just that you can't slide to the side a little bit. If you're 100% focused, you got to just do one thing. You can't do 3, 4 things at the same time. You're always very important. You got to have whoever your partner is, your wife or your girlfriend. If she's not supportive, it's going to be hard, because all bodybuilders, once they start dieting and getting ready for a show, they turn into some boring, never want to do anything, fools, I would say, and unless you really understand why as a partner, it's very hard to stick around, So I must say that having a wife like I do is basically 120% help in everything I do. Even me coming here for 2 weeks, she would never say no or say stay home. Or she was the one that told me to stay 2 weeks at a time. Why only 1 week and drive back and then drive back? So yeah, basically everything works out like that for me, I'll keep myself motivated just like that, and if anybody comes out with a new tape, that's the tape I'm going to buy, or I might not buy it, I might get it for free, but that's the one that's going to be in my DVD just for future shows. My favorite body part, right now, I think every body part is one of my favorites, because I'm trying to improve overall. But to answer your question, when you start training, everybody has the same favorite body parts, which is the chest and the biceps, because that's basically the only thing that's been hanging out of the tank top, So, but once I started getting serious in the bodybuilding, I know I had to improve on every body part. So I made basically legs my favorite body part. I made back my favorite body part. So I don't really have a favorite body part right now. When it comes to motivation and training, they're all basically equal. If you ask me what is your best body parts, then I might have to throw a few in, like shoulders, chest, and arms, But my favorites, they're all pretty much equal right now. The hardest body part to train would be the legs, I would say, quads. Because it just takes so much out of your quads and also back. But you can train each body part to failure and feel it, almost the same. But since quads and back is a bigger muscle, you need more oxygen, and then you obviously need more energy. The different of my diet, they differ. Off season, I'll very much like eat carbs, keep my body energized and full, and when I switch over to contest prep, which is basically 12 weeks out from a show, I'll switch from going from high carbs, sometimes first into real low carbs, before I totally switch into a high fat diet, which uh, basically makes my brain switch from glucose into ketosis, which means that I'm feeding my body no carbs, but instead of carbs, I feed high essential fats in order of olive oil on salads, pecan nuts, almonds. I'm talking peanut butter and a lot of steak, red meat, and like oily fish like salmon, orange roughy. That's basically what I eat when I'm getting ready for a show. So what that does is it'll take a few days for my brain switch from glucose to ketosis, which helps me to burn body fat so much faster than a regular low-carb diet that is almost unbelievable. I mean, I've tried so many diets in all the years that I've been competing, and it was basically all with carbs, low, high, moderate, a couple of low-carb days, then one high-carb day. And ever since I do that fat diet, I mean, my body comes around in less than 3-4 weeks. And what I like about it is I don't have that bloated feeling from all the carbs. I don't have that appetite after you eat like rice 2 minutes later, or I'm gonna say 30 minutes later, I'm hungry again. With a high essential fat diet, I basically my stomach pretty stays calm all day. I eat because I have to eat it, but I'm not starving. And I also don't lose any energy until probably towards the end, which will happen anyway because of, you overtrain, you do all the cardio. But just talking about the diet, I mean, with the high-fat diet, I mean, it's just, for me, the easiest way to get in shape. Placing fourth in my first show was basically, one of the greatest experiences I ever had because it was the biggest show, in that particular association, the Mr. Universe. I mean, mostly all the athletes that go there are qualified in some kind of nationals, in their own country, where they, be flying into England to represent their country. And I basically just got a special invite from the president, so I went over there and I had no expectations, I just wanted to see where I stand, and I basically fit right in and placed fourth with no name, and that gave me enough motivation to give it another full year to train for the same show, since I was qualified as a top 6 finalist for the following year. So I went back to Thailand, and I remember that was 94. I was getting ready for the Mr. Universe in 94, and I also opened up my gym in Thailand in 94, and I was looking for a name for it. I said, what can I name the gym? I said, you know what? I'm going to name it Universe Gym because I'm going to win that title. So it's going to make sense for me naming the gym. I opened the gym in February 94, and went back to the Universe in October 94, and I got second. So I said to myself, now I got to go again for another year. And back in 95, I went back over there and I won. I won the Mr. Universe in 95. They told me the event hotel was the Hyatt in Dallas, and there was no more rooms available. So I had to book my flight, and I went to the airport and I just went looking around for a hotel because the event hotel was fully booked, and it was basically all stress, and I found a place somewhere in downtown Dallas, made it to the athletes meeting, to weigh in, and basically did pretty well for my first nationals. I got fourth with no name. Nobody knew who I was, and then after fourth place at the Nationals, which I think was great, I told myself I'm going to get ready for the next year's Nationals, because I figure the Nationals is the easier show since every class winner gets a pro card. See, the USA's is just an overall. Back then it was just an overall, so, and they have their favorites on the West Coast. It's very hard to get in there. So I told myself I'm getting ready for the Nationals next year. And I remember Lonnie Teeper was the one that told me after the Nationals, don't wait, go to the USA's. And then I was like, you know what? He's right. So 7 months later, I went to the USA to Las Vegas. Same thing. Boom. That was the first year where they had the new super heavyweights. So they added another class. So I was a super heavyweight. I weigh in at the Nationals, I weigh in at 215. 7 months later at the USA's, I weigh in 233 and won the overall, my first ever USA's. And that's how I got my pro card, and that's how it all happened, and that was back in 98. So now I was getting real close to my dream. Now I'm finally IFBB pro, and I didn't get my IFBB pro card like some of the athletes by just being one of the best bodybuilders in their country, and they give out pro cards like it's like a membership, you know what I mean? So I can say, honestly say, I came to the U.S. and now won my pro card by bringing the overall to Mr. USA, which is basically the hardest qualification for your pro. The difference between my off-season diet and my pre-contest diet is basically, an off-season diet would look like this. My first meal, the times are always the same. My first meal in the morning will probably be 12 egg whites, or either 75 to 90 grams of whey isolate protein and 2 cups of oats. Then my next meal would be a post-workout shake where I'll have like 60 grams of whey isolate with some like 75 to 100 grams of Vitargo, which is simple carbs. Then I go home, I have a 2 o'clock meal, which will be either steak, chicken, for 12 ounces, and again rice, because I'm a rice eater. I love rice. Rice like 2.5, 3 cups, you know. And you know, if I'm not that hungry, I just eat a little bit less. And then my 5 o'clock meal will be basically the same thing again. And then go back to the gym, have another post-workout shake, just the same shake, with 60 grams of whey isolate and between 75 and 100 grams of Vitargo, which is simple carbs. And then I get home at night, I'll have another meal, which basically be steak, rice, and 11 o'clock before I go to sleep, I'll have another shake with sometimes a little bit of fruit or whatever just lays around in the house. That's off-season. Now, when I switch to pre-contest, I'll eliminate the carbs and I'll add the fats. So that means at 8 o'clock, I'll get up in the morning and I'll have either the egg whites and the protein shake. Then, and with the protein shake, I'll have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Or if I don't want the peanut butter in the morning, I can have like a 1/4 cup of almonds or pecan nuts. Then I'll go to the gym, you know, to do my first workout. Instead of post-workout shakes, there's not going to be a post-workout shake no more because there's no carbs. So when I get back home, I'll have a steak, you know, and just a big salad with like 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, because I like that. And then again, I'll add like a 1/4 cup of pecan nuts with that. Then 3 hours later, 2 o'clock, I'll have orange roughy fish. And same thing again, either I'll have the nuts or peanut butter. Then sometimes I add a shake, and instead of the fish, I just drink a shake, so it's up to me. And then at 5 o'clock, I'll have another meal, you know, basically the same thing, just some, you know, protein, a little bit of vegetables, and almonds or pecan nuts. Then I go back to the gym, come back at night, steak, salad, olive oil, vinegar, pecan nuts, 11 o'clock before I sleep, protein shake with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. That's it. And that keeps me in a perfect mood all throughout my diet. I've been doing this for 8 weeks now and I have no problems.